Alright, and we're up on deck. So, I've now been on a Baltic cruise for approximately 13 days and finally decided to shoot some footage of the actual cruise ship itself. It's a member of the Royal Caribbean Fleet, if you prefer that pronunciation. Yeah, was on this ship for about 13 days, and here are some of the highlights. Finally, this is the excellent view we have at actually the Harwich Terminal, where I finally decided to actually turn on the camera. Here's the view from Harwich International Terminal of the water side. It was pretty foggy on the day we got back, but it still provided a relatively nice view of the surrounding countryside. On the shore side, it was much more business in nature. It mostly seemed like a cargo shipping port. We didn't actually spend really any time in this terminal. It was really just taking the train out here and then getting immediately on the ship. And once we got back, immediately back onto the train. Here's the top deck. They have a screen for screening movies, a pool for some outdoor water enjoyment, and a bar for your drinks. Here's the main indoor pool. Once again, there was a bar, and once again, I spent pretty much no time swimming because we were on shore most of the time. There was a movie theater where you could view movies if you felt like it, and a bar if you felt like drinking and throwing darts. There's also a casino where you could gamble with all of the stereotypical elderly people that you meet on cruise ships, and a lounge where they had lots of trivia. My family and I love trivia, so this is where we spent a large amount of time when we were on the ship. There's also a theater where there's nightly shows. They're largely musical and variety in nature. The production values on these cruise ships is surprisingly high, and it was very entertaining. Here's a big shot of the atrium that opens up to all the different floors of the cruise ship, giving you an idea of just how big the ship was. Down at the bottom, you'll see there's a little plaza where they had some events, and of course, another bar. Down in the bowels of the ship, you get down into some narrow corridors that open up to the little suites. And finally, here's the stateroom. It had regular maid service and seems pretty small, but it was surprisingly effective, seeing as you're not spending most of your time on the ship in your room. They had a small TV that had access to a couple channels and a couple decently comfortable beds and a couch. It was really all you needed. So that's it for the tour. That's what you can kind of expect if you go on a similar level of cruise.